As the glosses in the history books go, the short-lived Qin Dynasty was followed by the long-lived Han Dynasty. However, there is a hugely significant event which took place in between, called the Chu-Han contention, a short war in between the dynasties between Xiang Yu of the Chu and Liu Bang of the Han Dynasty. It might get a brief mention, but the crucial nature of it is missed entirely. It is significant for many reasons. One of them is that it shows how and why a negative vision usually precedes the positive vision in bringing about a new order, and that the positive vision is by way of its very nature reliant upon the negative. Xiang Yu, a blue-blooded general of the rebellious former Chu kingdom, is an exemplar of the negative vision. He yearns for a return of his nation of Chu, one of the warring states which was conquered by the Qin before the unification in 221 BC under Qin Shi Huang. He personally detests the Chu conquerors and resents their ascendancy. His deepest desire is to do away with the lot of them and go back. One might say that he wants to clear them out. Xiang Yu's motivation to clear them out means that many other groups with a shared aversion to the current system sidle up to him. One of these rebellious groups is led by a former village police constable, Liu Ji, who would eventually become Liu Bang of the Han Dynasty. He came to exemplify the positive vision I mentioned earlier. He and his Han Dynasty were the eventual winners of the Chu-Han contention. The way in which Liu Bang steps into history is key to note and differs greatly from Xiang Yu's motivation. It is upon being delayed on a forced march to escort, with his village friends, a chain gang of convicts to the capital, when Liu Bang is faced with a choice of rebellion or punishment for late delivery. As was Qin law at the time, Liu Bang chooses rebellion, and along with his friends build an army from the bottom up on Mount Mangdang. He fights for his and his friends' lives. He has, and develops over time in Liu Bang's case, a combination of Confucian morality and legalist leanings in governance, a positive vision. That is, a vision of what things will be like in the future. At its core, there is a wish to protect himself and his friends. Now, we can be pedantic about the details of this, and many might quibble with whether or not his actions followed this principle. At the same time, this is at least the driving ideal of the new regime. This is what I mean by positive vision. It is more than just a desire to do away with things and as they are now and go back. It includes a model for the future. Now, this is the key point in history which is of interest to us. Despite the various rebellions springing up across the empire and the incompetent leadership, many still fight for the Qin dynasty for the very reason that their status depends upon it. People like the manipulative eunuch Zhao Gao would prefer the current system to remain, because it is the very existence of it which allow him his riches. Therefore, no matter the awfulness of the current regime, detested by blue bloods of the former kingdoms and rebellious peasants alike, a rump of the regime will still carry the principle of quote-unquote legitimacy if they are not removed. So is it Liu Bang of the Han and his developing positive vision on Mount Mangdang which clears out the rump of the Qin dynasty? No, it's Xiang Yu facing 200,000 loyal Qin supporters at the Battle of Julu who defeats them. He is driven by pure rage. Strategy and the vision of what comes after is irrelevant to him. He sacks the capital, allots former kingdoms to his allies, and returns to the territory of his former kingdom of Chu in the south he wished to see restored, with the official title of hegemon of Western Chu. This is what is required to perform the function of clearing out. Whether he knows it or not, likes it or not, This is what Xiang Yu must do to give a path for Liu Bang of the Han and the positive vision. There are many similar examples in history over time and place. In an ancient, dense forest, the old trees have to be cleared away to allow anything new to grow with the new sunlight available to them. Xiang Yu and the negative vision is often ignored by history books because it, or he, leaves little imprint on visible history. However, this is unfair, as he did exactly what he set out to do. He was a military success story in bringing down one of the greatest conquering regimes in all of human history. He got what he wanted, a restoration of his country and a removal of the regime he hated. Rare is the leader in history who can perform both negative and positive roles. With the regime removed, Xiang Yu is contented. His goals have been fulfilled and he wishes to be left alone. However, Liu Bang is fighting for his life and friends and cannot leave to trust that Xiang Yu is no longer a threat. At the Battle of Gaisha, Xiang Yu is ground down. The man who wishes for things to go back cannot inherit the future. It is the man with the positive vision, the man who wishes for more than merely going back, who inherits the future.